So as you know, last year, Art FM, WXOX Louisville hosted the Grassroots Radio Conference virtually, and it was a grand success. We had a great time. It was really interesting to be able to connect radio stations.
Oh, did Sharon just fly off the screen? That was weird. Okay. I think she's got booted off before. She probably will be aware soon. Hopefully. Oh, there she is. Yep. We lost you.
That's funny. I was talking about how we were connecting everyone, and then I got disconnected. But anyway, so it's great. It's a great, opportunity when we're virtual to get people together from all over the world. And so we want to continue that. Obviously, we'd rather meet in person. Normally, the Grassroots Radio Conference has been happening in the fall. In the past, it's happened in the summer. We don't know when it's going to happen again. There's thoughts to make it happen in the spring, an in-person meeting, but obviously that's going to depend on these health situations. So we are seeking anyone who might be interested in hosting the Grassroots Radio Conference as soon as spring of 2020. And definitely really hoping that at least by the fall we'll be able to do this, but who knows? We don't know. In the meantime, what we want to do is kind of keep meeting and keep having conversations, ways for people to meet up. This is obviously a great forum. Stephanie Pacifica has done a wonderful job with this, kind of been a lifesaver to me. But there's a lot of stations that aren't Pacifica members. There's a lot of people who aren't station managers who really like connecting and sharing information. So that's kind of the wider audience that the Grassroots Radio Conference tries to attract. Anyone with an interest at all in grassroots radio is welcome. We don't have anyone to host. We don't have normally it's hosted by a nonprofit station. And this year we tried to find someone to step up and host it virtually, and nobody offered to do that. So what we've decided to do instead, unless someone just jumps up and decides they want to do it, which you all are welcome. It's not too bad, especially when it's virtual. But what we've offered to do, Art FM, is kind of help assist with a DIY type GRC. So anyone who has an idea, they have something they want to share, something they've learned over the pandemic, let us know. And the idea would honestly be that you would host your own Zoom meeting. Just let us know the time, send out the link, and we will help get that out to the greater GRC list. If you don't, or if a station doesn't, or a person doesn't have their own Zoom that can accommodate, longer than 45 minutes or whatever the free version does, then Art FM can lend our Zoom for that purpose. So right now we're just really looking for people, stations, groups that are interested in presenting something virtually. And we're looking at the fall months. We were really focused on October because that's when the GRC has been happening. And we have a few presentations. Stephanie and Ursula have decided they'll do something for Pacifica. I'll let them tell you about that in a second. And then KBOO has offered to do something on community engagement. I think it's the program director out there. I can do something on remote broadcasting. Spinatron, Ava at Spinatron has offered to do a demo Q&A on Spinatron. Betty McCardle has offered, she and Michael Brown, her partner, he's an engineer, and they've brought in Michael Cousins, who's an attorney, and they want to do in September a series of sessions on the full power FM window that's coming up, the non-commercial window. So those sessions will not be for everyone, just mainly for people who are interested in upgrading their power or applying for a non-commercial full power license, which will apply to people mainly in more rural areas. Big cities probably don't have a chance. Mid-sized cities, maybe borderline. And they'll have a whole session to help you determine whether you'll have something in your community or not. So I think that would probably be the first session that they do. And she's planning on that September 9th. the first one on that. So, but other than that, we don't have any solid dates. Stephanie, I'd like to have you talk about what what you all want to do with Pacifica, and maybe we can start honing in on a date for that. And then otherwise, we just really want to hear from people. And I think we can kind of, we can drum up a few sessions. They can be in October, they can even go into November. And of course, we're doing the monthly GRC meetings on the 10th of every month, usually, if it's not a Friday, Saturday, or Sunday, which is just a monthly meeting. And sometimes those have presentations and sometimes they're just community radio discussions. So anyway, Stephanie, I'll throw it over to
cool.
you. You can
I'll add to what you said from Betty's plan too. She sent the email just like you said, September 9th, she's planning for 8:00 Eastern time for that first session on NCE Windows. And she's talking about another session in September on public inspection file. I don't think that one has a date yet. Also, a discussion on acronyms. She says alphabet soup. Does that make sense? Okay, acronyms. Maybe that's another in joke for her. I don't know what alphabet soup is. Okay. Also talking with someone to do a session in October for FM license holders spinning off their licenses. So that's something that's also in the works for her. And I was talking to Ursula about this earlier, about maybe we would shut down a few of our meetings for October so people can have more space to join GRC meetings. I did send out there's a lot of interest in doing a roundtable on Audacity, so I might just keep that one and then just kind of give it a rest for October, so we can keep that open. And Ursula and I, we did a GRC session last time on audio port, which is always good. There's always more things you can get familiar with, I think, with that. And there's always new people who appreciate getting a tutorial on that. So we'll probably do, just start with the basics and basic tutorial with audio port, and it'll be nice to do again because we've been working with Otis and he's going to do some updates, and I think that'll be useful, especially with the downloads when you have a episode that gets downloaded, and some people you can see who it downloads, and then if it's automatic you can't tell. So what we're working on now is to try to get that transparent so you can trace it back, so you know who's digging your show. And then a few other things too. We're going to take out some of the boxes in the show summary that don't really help, and I think just might end up confusing people. So we can talk about that too. And then what was the other thing? We were going to add, we got a good train going with the Pacificaster, the podcast site. After a lot of trying, it's been a couple of years. We're feeling really good about where we are now with that. We've got someone who really understands that Pacifica Network is a complex. It's not just one station, right? It's a whole group of stations with their each own identity, and so that requires a more in-depth website to go with it. We think we found someone now who gets that, and he's working on it, and so we'll be excited to share more about that too. I don't know if there's anything particular you guys would be interested to have us go over with AudioPort at all, or just throwing that out there.
Stephanie, I have one question.
Yeah.
The search features.
Yeah.
When I search for lengths of shows, I have a hard time getting appropriate shows.
Okay. So, I appreciate that.
Yeah, because I like hunting for 3-minute shows or 5-minute shows to fit in the holes. So
sure.
That would be great if you guys could tweak that.
Okay, I
Also,
appreciate that. Yeah.
I could add to like searching with multiple parameters, like
Mm,
searching for hour-long environmental shows or something of that nature, or
okay.
even hour-long environmental shows that are once a week, or
Okay, yeah, so length of show, topic, and like how often the show.
yeah, to search them all at the same time.
Yeah, okay, I appreciate that. Um,
While we're on the topic of searching, I don't know if this is anything you all could do, if it's more the archives, but the historical, the From the Vault episodes are wonderful. I mean, there's so much good stuff in there, but it's very difficult to search that
mm,
section. Like, so, and I haven't done it in a minute because it did get so frustrating. I literally just had to like roll through pages and read the titles.
yeah, yeah,
But if there's any way to make that more searchable, that would, I
more
think,
like
really
user
be helpful
friendly.
because there's so much great stuff in there.
Yeah, that makes sense. I found that I've just avoid the search because I find it never helps me. So I totally get that. You guys would want that to be better. Okay, thank you. I appreciate that. That's awesome.
And I know my DJs would probably be interested in learning like how to make their shows more attractive to radio stations, how to get it out there more.
Yeah, yeah.
Because I think a lot of them have great shows and they put them in there and then it's just this big, vast bucket. So much information, so many programs. So how to make their shows stand out? What are people looking for?
Right. That's always a good way to approach it. I feel like a lot of shows get excited, and it's just mainly like the basics that really matter, like um, having your show length be consistent, having your upload time be consistent, having your page filled out properly. So yeah, I appreciate that. That's always good to go over.
I was on the phone yesterday with a producer that I think is based in Virginia, and he wanted to get my feedback on how the best way to place yourself in audio port. And so, I said, you got to differentiate yourself because you get lost in there. I mean, because I get lost looking for stuff. So that would be helpful. And I would encourage him to participate in that. So,
Okay, yeah, that'd
really
be
great
great.
show.
That made me think of something else too. I think another thing we're working on with Otis after we get started with downloading fixes is we want to keep it current. We want to remove stuff that isn't up to date. If it's not still having a new show every week, we would maybe have a separate section for things that are kind of expired-ish. How do you guys feel about that? Does that feel threatening, or does that feel like it would be helpful to help you find what you want?
Helpful.
Yeah? Okay, cool. This is a good refresher, actually. Remove the chaff. Okay, great. Well, that gives us a good focus, actually. I like that. That'll be useful. So we haven't decided. We need to give you a date, don't we? So we have to work on that. We have to figure that out. It'll probably be maybe next week we can do that. Is that too late?
No, it's not too late. It's funny, we always have this fundraiser in September, and then last year at GRC, we had to put everything off till after. So it might be a similar situation there, but we want to have you all rolling with ideas and things like that, and we'll get it out and turn around as fast as possible. But no, I don't think it's
That's
too
right.
late.
You always have your fundraiser. You had that last year too. That's
yeah,
right.
it's always right before GRC. It's kind of cool. And normally when GRC is in set, when we get to go, it's always our prize. Like, yay, we got that done. Now we get to go on vacation and hang out and relax. But unfortunately,
Now you get to run
prize.
another thing.
Really missing traveling. That's for sure. but yeah, so right now since we have the meetings set up on the 10th of every month, we have an October meeting already set up. Let's see, in terms of having our Zoom already set up and that sort of thing. Probably on the 11th, I'm not sure, because the 10th is on a Sunday. So I'm guessing on October 11th at 8 p.m. Eastern. But I would definitely be interested in hearing the feedback of this crew as to whether daytimes or evenings are better. We do 8 p.m. because that's kind of at least close to after work for West Coast folks. But then some people in the radio, in this radio biz want to have their meetings in the daytime. So what do you all think about meeting times? If we could push for one or the other, should we push for evenings or daytimes?
I like evenings, so.
Okay, cool.
I'm flexible.
Good. And Stephanie, I don't know, like I said, I don't know how many of these things we're going to have. So I'm not certain if it's work, you've been doing these meetings for a year and a half now, almost going on 2 years probably. So you're probably ready for an October break, and in which case I would encourage you to do that. At the same time, I don't know if GRC is just going to be all that overwhelming that you need to, but maybe, because there'll be a few things going on. So I just don't want you to lose the great momentum that you have with these meetings.
Oh no, I mean, we'll just be attending, right? So it won't be the same dynamic.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, and talking about audio board it's fun to get people, help them navigate. So yeah, that'll be good. Are you saying that on the 11th that there's an 8 p.m. slot open? Is that what you're saying?
Let me see. Okay, because basically what we did when we first started doing these monthly meetings at the beginning of the year, Mary Yates, who does all our scheduling, just went through and set up all the meetings for every single month.
Oh, okay.
Let me see
so you guys
she set one up somewhere around October 10th, but I'm not sure if she did it on the 10th or try to figure out how I can see that in my Zoom. But let's see if I can. I'm gonna just try to do something. See if I can copy and paste it. Nope. So anyway, I can let you know though, but I'm guessing it's October 11th at 8 p.m. is kind of a Zoom meeting that's already been set up. It's already been sent around to everybody, who are forward-thinking people would have got that link at the beginning of the year and put it on their calendar. So that's one. We'd like to do something there.
Okay.
Could be yours, Stephanie, or if that doesn't work for you all, we can do a different.
Okay. Well,
that one's kind of already on everyone's schedule. So.
Okay. Yeah, I could run that by Ursula.
And I'll let you know. Are there any other things that people would really, feel like they've? I mean, I think one meeting, maybe a more informal meeting, just talking to people about where they are in terms of studio opening and health, concerns and policies. I think that would be a good session. Are there any other, sessions that you all think would be of interest right now? Something you'd like to talk about or hear from the expert? I mean, the Audacity thing would be I'm really looking forward to that when you all do that one. Editing is always good.
Editing is always good. Yeah, it sounds from Joseph McGuire that there's always bigger levels you can go to from when he was talking with us last time.
It's incredibly sophisticated in spite of its simplicity.
Yeah.
So, I'm learning stuff every day whenever I use it. So one thing for me, and I don't know, it's kind of small maybe, is I'm trying to build my music library. And I'm having challenges on how to get engaged with musicians and record companies, and also how to manage the media since it's now become MP3s mostly, and how to manage it, especially when I've got Spinitron I have to interact with. So that's my challenge. And also my balance is I don't have a lot of music DJs. So I want to encourage them to come because we have a bigger music library. So I'm sort of trying to figure out how to balance that. So that's one of the things I'm trying to work on right now. I'm cool with Spinitron, I get all that. So I know other people have more challenges with that, but me, it's more about building a library.
That would be a great session, actually.
One thing I saw, I was speaking with Davine, and Davine's got this great video set up in her studio, and that's part of her training, how to use their Mevo. And she's just cranking out these videos. I mean, I don't know if every day they're on Facebook. So that would be something it's pretty simple how she's doing it. So it's, it's kind of cool because it's really DIY. So she may be somebody we can talk to about it, because I know usually she's here on this call.
Yeah, that's a great idea. She's done that in person a couple times at the GRCs. So she
Yeah, she's got that one down.
That's a good idea. For me, something we could probably use a session on is just how to get the, press releases and how to get the media interested in what you're doing. That would be something helpful. And then Marcus, you talked about having to, let a DJ go, a session on that, like the tough work. I mean, I know that's always a struggle in community radio because you attract some real personality.
Right. And I know we covered it in this roundtable before, but also, how to be selective when you're a community radio station, who to say no to. And Ursula had some really good input on that last time that really was helpful for me and might be good for a GRC thing as well.
That always seems like a good evergreen topic to get different perspectives on, because people have different ways they can approach it.
Yeah, and there's always new, the DJs always do something new that
There's always something
never expected that was gonna happen.
something that you never expected.
Right. So just war stories would probably be a good session.
Yeah.
Getting donors. We could do something on the giving day. I know a lot of cities have giving day types of things. What do you guys think about how many sessions we should plan to do? How much, should we pack this in? How much should we kind of just spread it out? We already have the monthly meetings. Betty wants to pack September full of NCE stuff, which I think is great, focusing on one topic for that month. And yeah, we're focusing on October, but how much can people take? Obviously, we're all very busy. Should we just try to pack as many sessions into October as we possibly can? Or should we spread it out and just kind of have it a more ongoing type of situation? Any thoughts?
Yeah, I think that one Zoom meeting a day is enough for me. And if it's always on the same day, sometimes I can't make that day. So let's say it's Monday. Well, some people have shows, some people have appointments. So it's hard to catch, it's just like Thursday, I missed the last 3 of these meetings because I had stuff. So, so spreading it out, I don't know how, over 2 weeks, Monday, Wednesday, Tuesday, Thursday, something like that, may help. And I probably wouldn't do it on the weekend. That's my feeling.
What did you guys think of the NFCB lineup? I thought they did a pretty good job. It was over a month, and then they had like a couple a week, and some were earlier in the day and some were later. I
didn't participate this year, so.
Oh, okay. I don't think they had as many evening sessions as they were more morning or afternoon. But I thought their spacing was nice.
Was it just kind of randomly, or was it every Tuesday at 3 p.m. or
I could look for that calendar and
Okay.
send it to you.
that might be interesting?
They jammed up a lot in a short period of time. And they're all during the day. And so I had to book myself a month ahead of time. I can check my calendar, what Zoom I'm doing, what hour. And the ones that I did catch, I thought were very informative. What I wanted to do is go back and review them because they post them up on their website too, and go over them again and take notes. Write out my notes. What did this mean to me, and how can I use this? And then post that someplace. Other people see that. But I have yet to do that. Another thing to do.
Yeah, you'll get there.
But I did enjoy the lineup. It was pretty well done.
It would be cool to have, like you had a keynote speaker, you had Chuck D, somebody like that who was kind of interesting, not some sort of guru, but somebody who's a producer who's been around a long time. I think that was helpful. And, starting it off, it was kind of fun.
Yes.
So who, I don't know, but, somebody entertaining.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. I really do wish a station had picked up to do it this year, because, we just don't have the capacity this year to do something like that and plan all the panels and everything that we had last time. So again, it's just kind of just going to be up to whatever, we'll reach out to a few people and on a few of these topics. But we really just need, other people to think of things, to propose things, reach out to folks. And we'll just kind of, do what we can. And I think it's more than anything, just try to get everybody in touch and be sharing ideas. But it won't be, it really will, like I said, it's DIY GRC. It'll be whatever the people make it. But I don't know that we'll have a big keynote speaker, although that would be awesome. Maybe Ursula can do her magic again. But that was amazing. That was so amazing last year. And that's one of the reasons why we're like, okay, I don't know. We need to take a break. RFM can't repeat what we did so quickly, especially with all this going on. But we're definitely looking forward to throwing our hat in the name, throwing our hat in the name to host when it becomes in person one of these days. So if anyone else wants to throw their hat in the name with us, no. But I think that, we're just really hoping we're going to be able to be in person. I think a lot of people are kind of burned out on the Zoom meetings and all that kind of stuff. So we didn't really feel like we could get the same synergy around the conference virtually this year as we were able to last year.
Well, that feels fair, to just sort of I like the DIY GRC. That's catchy. And just, so you can collaborate, but you don't have to take on everything. And it's kind of fitting for the times, it's just kind of a limbo time. So it matches.
Yeah. And it can be something that's continuing too, if October comes and goes and then suddenly someone has a great idea for a session, then we can bring that maybe into the monthly meetings or something like that. So
oh yeah, that's right. You guys are doing that. Yeah.
It's an ongoing thing. So we just want to keep everyone in touch, sharing information.
Yeah. Right.
So,
Well, cool.
So would you say that's the outcome that you want to have? Want to keep everybody in touch and keep it moving forward?
Yeah, for sure. That is.
Okay. It's kind of good to have a goal, be able to state
I like
this.
that.
Yeah.
I like that. But it's not us. See, that's the thing. We're not hosting.
Well, even so, what is it
So
that we want to come out
what do
of
we
this?
want?
Yes.
Yes, Joseph. What do you think? What would you want? What would you like to see?
I am always have been in a, it's just really hard to get the native stations involved. I've been banging my head against the wall on this and trying to get native stations to join Pacifica. And then we had, everybody was in NFCB for a while, and then native public media started, and everybody went that way. A lot of them went that way. And then COVID happened, and now nobody's talking. And so why do we have native media? That's the question I've always back of my mind. You know, why do you have America media? Well, okay. Ta-da, it's there. But we came in late in the game. Not until 1972 did we have a station. Of course, we broadcasted off Alcatraz in '68, but that wasn't a radio station. That was just KF Berkeley loaning us their unit. But why do we exist, and what's our message? And then how do we get airtime on all the other American stations? And if we do, what's our message? Music is nice. I like to have more contemporary native music. I know everybody doesn't like powwow music, and I'm one of them because our tribe doesn't do powwows. We have completely different ceremonies. But contemporary native music in all genres, my goodness, we touch on everything. But is that shared everywhere? I mean, Undercurrents, he addresses it very well off Native Voice One, and he mixes it, so it's not always contemporary native artists, and that's nice. But it's not carried on every channel, and even if it is, it's not content, it's music, and I'm all for music, but where's the content? What's the purpose? Why do we have radio? If you got a technology that shares expression and ideas and hopes and dreams, then how would you do that beyond music? What are the fillers in between music shows? PSAs? Points of view? So yeah, it's a bigger discussion, and I will do my best to knock on the doors of Native Public Media and Native Voice One and Kawanik Broadcasting, who owns Native Voice One.
So I was just curious, Joseph, I feel like I'm reaching here, but it sounds like you're really trying to get, some unity and just people to connect.
Absolutely.
If you had some sort of platform as like a GRC session for that purpose, would that be weird, or is that too vague, or like would there be a?
Well, who am I talking with? Who's my audience?
Like other Native American stations.
Well, yes, that's what I'm saying. If how many Native American stations came to the last one? I was a keynote speaker, but I enjoyed what I did, and I was addressing the diversity issue.
Yeah.
But how many other Native stations were on that? And I just got knocked off. Am I back?
Oh, you're back. No, yeah,
Okay.
you're here.
I thought I got knocked. My screen froze, and when my screen freezes, like, okay. Internet connection is unstable. Yes, I know that. Thank you. It's just a conundrum for me.
Yeah.
And
Joseph,
that's why I
would-
say I'll never retire from native media.
So I would like some shows, not necessarily music, but some shows that explore all the different, where'd you go? Oh, there you go. All the different Native cultures and the programming they produce. I think that would be great to have a uniform show. And I would definitely air that. So.
Yes, thank you. And I got knocked off. What am I gonna, I don't know.
We can hear
hear
you.
you
We just
now.
can't see you.
Yeah. Good, you could hear, you can't see me, okay. Yes, so now I don't have access to everything that's out there. So that's the other part of the organizing that needs to be done within native stations. What are they willing to share?
Well, sort of, I was thinking like Sprouts. What you do at Sprouts, you hit a lot of the different groups.
Right.
And that would be something I would like to, because we have Native Americans here,
Correct.
so we're the land of Chumash. So, I'd like to, and we have mixed eco, we have a lot of different kind of indigenous people here, so I would certainly like to bring in some of that media.
It's an idea. That's interesting.
Okay,
Like a show that would showcase what different Native American stations are doing.
Yeah, we'd be interested in that for sure. And just learning more what's out there in terms of Native American.
and likewise, the non-native stations, what native programs do they have?
Mhm.
Hmm.
Yeah, that would be fascinating. I mean, this would be a great discussion, Joseph. I don't know if you're able to, even if you could get like, a couple of other individuals from native stations to come kind of talk about this very topic. I think that'd be fascinating.
Yeah.
The more native stations we could get involved, the better, of course.
Yeah, like what different Native stations, what's their driving?
I think I'll,
Oh,
uh-huh.
We lost you. We didn't hear what you said.
no, we heard you. Well, you were gone. Yeah, now you're
But
back.
I think
I was,
gets-
my thinking was to connect with Native Voice One, the director there. And because she's got her ear to all of the other stations. I don't. So maybe she would be a good collaborator.
that'd be awesome. Yeah,
Nola Davis, that's her name.
great.
Or
Do
Nola
that.
Daves. Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah.
will do.
Let
It's on
us
my
know what you
list.
find out.
I'll write it down.
That'd be awesome. Great.
Will do. Thank
And
you.
meanwhile,
Cool.
if anyone else thinks of any ideas, again, we're just sort of facilitating the DIY GRC. But here's my email. If anyone thinks of any other ideas or knows somebody that would be a good presenter, or if you guys just have an idea, you want something you want to either just, it could just be facilitating a discussion on a topic you want to know more about. And let us know. And if you have a Zoom to host, we'll get you to set it up and we'll get the word out there. And if you need RFM to host, we can definitely do that for you as well. So yeah, I think it'd be,
Okay, cool.
DIY GRC. We'll see what happens and hope that we can meet, maybe in the spring, actually have a real conference. That'd be
That's
awesome. But I'm
the
just,
dream.
right now it's hard to imagine. Hard to see past it.
I see we got a hello from Lynn Plombeck at KQRU in Santa Clarita. Hello, she's listening. Yeah, okay, so we'll hold on till the next till we can meet in person. So that sounds like that's the other goal.
Yeah, I'll keep thinking. I wondered how the mailing list went for the GRC. Did you get a lot of response?
Yeah, we have about 60 stations now on the
Okay.
GRC mailing list. Everyone who participated, Elizabeth, you should have gotten a link to see that.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
So that's let's see if I can find the link. I could share it with you all. But it's just a GRC directory. It's for people and stations involved with GRC, and just so we can all stay connected, in this crazy time. But let me look here, and I'll find that link and I'll post it.
So obviously those will be people we'll communicate with. And then
Right,
see
and
if we
there's
can bring other people in.
And there's a GRC listserv. All the announcements will go out to the GRC listserv, and also there's a mailing list from people who've attended GRCs before, which is kind of a separate mailing list. So all these Zoom meetings will go out over there, and as soon as we get them dialed in and dates and stuff, we'll try to get the DIY schedule out there.
Cool. Cool. Okay. All right. I got to run, but thank you. It's really informative. Happy to have been here today. So
Yeah,
Great to see
this
you.
was great.
yes, good to see you too. Okay. Have a good
Take
one.
care.
Bye.
Thank you, Sharon, too, for what's the word? What's the word for that king in Lord of the Rings who was the steward? Thank you for being the steward for the GRC this year, and I know you're some of your team members too, so appreciate that.
Yeah, no, we just want to keep it going, want to keep the energy going as much as we can until we can finally get together again. But yeah, I think what Joseph said is so true. We just want to keep everybody in contact,
Yeah,
keep sharing this information, because we've all learned so much in this pandemic the hard way. So any
Yes.
that we can share. And then a lot of it, like Stephanie, like audio port is great to do virtually because you can actually have your computer screen there and people can kind of follow along on their computer screen.
Yeah.
So some of it actually works better virtually.
That's true. It does give it a personal feel.
And I posted the link. There's the link to the forms for the GRC directory. And I have also sent that out to the GRC listserv. So if you guys get on there and then we can all just stay in touch, it'd be great. So
Okay.
thanks again
Cool,
to
fantastic.
Pacifica for keeping
Yeah.
this together every week. Stephanie, thank you so
Oh
much.
yeah, you're very welcome. It's always great seeing you guys. And thank you again for everyone for having a good talk, and we'll see you
Yes,
again
indeed.
next week.
Yes.
Yeah.
Next week. Bye.
Bye-bye.